These different methods, they differ with regards to their quality. There are good ones, there are bad ones. With some you really can predict the future performance, with some others you hardly can do this. Yeah? So when we talk about quality in this particular context, we do not use the term quality really. We use the term validity, reliability, or objectivity. I really want you to understand these concepts. They are really key whenever we talk about candidate selection. Okay? By the way, you can read about these criteria in almost every HR textbook. I would like to explain the different criteria and how we can use these. Before I do so, I must explain some stats, some statistics. And there's one statistic which we name the correlation. Okay? In short, R. Yeah? So, what is a correlation? You all know this. A correlation is the linear relationship between two different variables. What does that mean? Let's have the relation between two different variables. Any ideas? Okay. Let's have money and happiness. Okay? So the idea is, are students which have more money, are they happier than those with less money? We all have some ideas, we have our private theories, our naive understanding about this, but now let's do science. Yeah, let's do a study. We could do this in this room, by the way, but I don't want to do this. Otherwise, I would need to ask you, how much money do you have and how happy are you? But let's assume we ask somebody who's really a lot of money available every month for free spending. And this person really is happy. We assume that we have a test for measuring happiness. Okay? We have a person that has less money available here, and indeed, it's less happy. We have another person somewhere in the middle, and also such happy. We do this 50 times and we get a cloud of dots like this. Alright? Let's just assume this. So the shape of the cloud is like this. The question now is there a relation between money and happiness or not? As we can see from this result, it's a yes and no. It's not a clear yes, but it's also not a no. In statistics, we want to have a clear number. We want to have a really clear number telling us, is there a relationship between two variables or not? Okay. Now, question: if the relationship between money and happiness would be absolutely perfect, yeah, there would be really a direct relation between these two variables, how would this cloud look like? Yes, it would be a line. You could really say, the more money you have, the more happier you are, full stop. If this would be the case, the correlation would be what? 1. Right. If there would be no relation at all, how would this cloud look like? Yes, would be kind of, the dots would be spread around the middle somehow. No direction, nothing, no relation at all. Yeah. Just a randomized cloud of dots. If this would be the case, correlation would be Yes, 0. Okay? In practice, we hardly get a correlation of 1. Whatever you measure, you hardly get a correlation of 1. More often you get a correlation of 0, but in most cases it's somewhere in between, or I must be more correct. It would be between -1 and +1. If you would find a relation like this, a perfect negative relationship, yeah, we would have correlation of -1. So correlation always is between -1 or +1, telling us how the linear relation between two variables concretely is. Okay, that's correlation. You might ask me, how can we calculate this? Of course, there's a formula, but it's I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you the formula by heart, and don't tell the statistic professor. But in my eyes, in your future, you must not really understand how to calculate this, but you must be able to interpret a correlation. So whenever you hear about the correlation, from now on in your future, and you hear the correlation between job satisfaction and turnover is 0.21, you say, okay, it's close to 0, there is something, but it's not a perfect relationship, okay? You must be able to interpret the correlation, okay? So, coming from there, we can talk about validity, reliability, and objectivity. We need the correlation really to estimate these different criteria. Okay? What is validity? Validity is whether a method really measures what it is supposed to measure. To give you an example, we have intelligence tests, but do the intelligence tests really measure intelligence, or maybe something else? Does a personality test really measure personality and not something else? Okay, does the method really measure what it is supposed to measure? That's validity, Gültigkeit. Now, how is this done in practice? I just mentioned the intelligence tests. Now, in science, how is the validity of intelligence tests really measured? On one side, you measure the intelligence of different people, right? So you have smart people, rather dumb people, higher or lower IQs, right? So, and what we typically do in science is we compare the test scores, where a person really rank on this scale, with an external criteria. Okay, and a typical criteria are school grades. The idea is, if a test really measures intelligence, and we assume that the more intelligent the person is, the better he or she is in school, then there should be a relationship between the test score on an intelligence test and the school grades. Okay, and this is typically measured. What we can tell is that for intelligence tests which are really good, validity is quite high. Now, we all know that success in school does not only depend on intelligence. We know this. But would we really believe in a test that measures intelligence, that is supposed to measure intelligence, and the results do not show any relation to school grades? If we would have a test like this, would we believe in this test? Probably not. So this is how to prove it. Okay? I give you another example. Now let's assume we have a, let's call it sales capability test. Sales capability. Now this is very practical. We want to hire salespeople, right? And we really want to tell during the recruiting process, will this person here succeed if we hire this person as a sales representative? Okay, so we use a sales capability test. Okay. Now, if you want to know whether this test really measures sales capability or something else, we must compare the test scores with the criteria. And what could the criteria be in this case? Yes, revenue. Those who score high on a sales capability test should sell more. And those who are weak on a sales capability test, well, here, they should sell less. And we would expect that there is kind of relationship like this kind. Okay? If there is no relationship at all between sales capability test score and the actual revenue, we would not believe in this test. Okay? So this is how validity is really measured. We use correlation methods to compare test scores with a criteria. Okay? That's about validity. Does the test really measure what it is supposed to measure? Now, let's talk about a